Coffee. It's the world's best-selling psychoactive drug. You only have to walk a few blocks to find a Starbucks selling grande Americanos to customers craving the taste, smell, and the kick that coffee gives. As a naturally stimulating compound, caffeine fires up the central nervous system, allowing you to become more alert, focused, and a perceived sense of increased energy. But for some people, caffeine can create undesirable effects. And the truth is that most people are drinking coffee wrong. Hi, my name is Alex Demerol. I'm an online health and performance coach. We help entrepreneurs optimize their health so they can perform at the top 1% in their field. And in today's video, you're going to learn about coffee, why you're probably drinking it wrong, and what is the best way to drink it for maximum effects without none of the negatives. So caffeine, as you know it, is most commonly consumed through coffee or even energy drinks. And caffeine is a psychoactive substance, meaning that it alters your mood, cognition, and consciousness. Chemically, caffeine is very similar to what we already have in our bodies called adenosine. Now, this is where you get the positive effects from caffeine because the way it interacts with our adenosine receptors in our brain. So because caffeine is very similar to adenosine in terms of its molecular structure, it can fit into your adenosine receptors in your brain. And this is where you get the positive effects of caffeine, of the mood, the energy, and all the other good things. But this has a downside. Several hours after consuming it, and once you've had a good high, your body or your brain will begin to notice that there's a mismatch between the amount of adenosine in your system and the receptors that are currently taken up with adenosine. So as a result, what happens is your body begins to create new adenosine receptors for the free-floating adenosine to latch onto. But because now the effects of caffeine are wearing off, you get this huge crash. This results in one, a tolerance increase, because like we said, you need more receptors over time to get the same effect. But two, you also get what we can refer to as the caffeine crash, because the caffeine was essentially tricking your brain into thinking you had more energy than you really did. And to make matters worse, caffeine can have a half-life of over 5 hours, and for some people it can even be up to 10, even 12 hours. So if you skip one of your days of morning coffee, you might find that your day is met with irritability, low mood, low cognition, and overall low energy. So here's how to use caffeine for maximum effect without any of those negatives we've just spoken about. Now, if you're like most people, what you would do when you wake up in the morning is have a nice big cup of coffee. But what you want to do instead is refrain from having your coffee or any caffeine for that matter by 2 hours after waking up. What this will do is, number one, allow your adenosine system, your energy system, to actually switch on. And if you're struggling with what to do with yourself in the morning because you're so accustomed to having that cup of coffee, then it's best to take something like an electrolyte drink. This will again help further enhance the effects that caffeine has on your brain. Now, when you do have your first coffee upon 2 hours after waking, have it with something called L-theanine. So L-theanine is an amino acid and it can be found in green tea. And that's often why green tea is credited to have that kind of clean energy. So for example, one study found that L-theanine and caffeine combination improved both the speed and accuracy of performance of the attention switching task at 60 minutes and reduced susceptibility to distracting information in the memory task at both 60 and 90 minutes. Essentially meaning your cognition is improved, your ability to switch between tasks is improved, and your attention span is improved. So now we've discussed the best time to consume caffeine. We've also discussed when is the best time to limit it. I would personally advise, and that's what I do with my clients, at 12 p.m. when we're trying to begin to sync your circadian rhythm. But now the real problem for most people with caffeine is using it long term. Because like we mentioned at the start of this video, you build up a tolerance to caffeine. So the logical answer would be to come off caffeine to then increase the effects later on. But this is very much easier said than done, because frankly, although there's no literature saying that caffeine is addictive inherently, I'm sure you can attest to this, that having that morning coffee can become very addicted of itself just because the smell, the taste, if you're someone like me, you really do just enjoy the taste of coffee. So what I do and what I recommend my clients do to get the maximum effects of caffeine without any of the negatives for the long term is to cycle between caffeinated and decaf coffee. This will, one, help with withdrawal symptoms, two, also have a placebo effect, which is very powerful when it comes to trying to keep those energy levels up, because if you're having that cue of just drinking your coffee, you feel like you're getting some kind of energy kick, even though there is a minimal amount of caffeine in decaf options. So what I'm trying to say here is start to use caffeine as a tool for when you really need it on those days that are particularly busy, that will require a lot of attention and deep work from you. because if you're using it every day, you're going to build up a tolerance. You're not going to feel the effects as much. It's also going to be potentially disturbing your sleep or your circadian rhythm. And how do you decide when is the best days to use it? And what you want to do is become systematic in the days in which you need your coffee. So what you would do is just plan out your day or plan out your week. And that way you can begin to see, okay, Tuesday is very, very busy with a lot of deep work. Probably going to have some coffee at 10 a.m. And if you're not sure how to plan your day, plan your week, go and watch this video here. That will give you the best productivity system when it comes to planning your day, planning your week. So in summary, is caffeine inherently bad? Absolutely not. It's a tool to be used, like I always say, amongst many, but use it wisely, use it responsibly, because if you're not careful, you're going to become a slave to caffeine just to get through your day. And I've been there myself. Like we said, use it cyclically. That is the best way to use caffeine. And that was the end of that video. So firstly, before I let you guys go, I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel so far. The response has been awesome. I'm really enjoying making these videos and providing this information to all you guys. Secondly, if you want to see more videos like this and you haven't subscribed already, please do. And also give it a thumbs up, it really helps out as always. And lastly, leave a comment on the kind of videos you want to see in the future, and I will do my very best to deliver that to you. All right, I'll see you in the next one.